Ranger here, right back in his power tie. Boy, this is a nice power. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Red shirt, Lucha Ranger is ready. Don't worry, folks. Lucha Ranger is going to be getting some new masks here in about a month or so. So don't worry. I know you get tired of this same stale one. So what's our today's topic? The Federal Reserve. Friend or foe? So what is the Federal Reserve? Well, the Federal Reserve is a bank. It's the country's bank. It's where all the money is stored in America's money. It controls where the money goes. So in other words, when your government decides to come up with a budget, when the president and the Congress and everybody, the legislature comes out with a budget, they say, okay, they take in what the country is taking in, and then they budget to try to make it even to what they're going to pay out. So what happens is when they finally get a budget and it's all figured out, then it goes to the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is sitting there with all this money. Now, the head of the Federal Reserve is a gentleman by the name of Jerome Powell. So, and the Lucha Ranger's not real happy with Jerome Powell. The guy is basically a liberal joined with the Democrats that wanted to crash the economy. Just like the Democrats are doing right now. They're crashing the economy with the government shutdown. So, the Federal Reserve, it's up to the Federal Reserve to control the money to help offset what maybe the government shutdown is doing to the feds. We've got right now SNAP benefits not being paid. The military's not being paid. Okay, so what's happened with all that money that usually goes to federal workers? Well, the Federal Reserve is sitting there. All that money that's coming in from taxes, that still comes in even on a government shutdown. So that money is just sitting there. And what it's doing, it's drawing interest on itself. So basically what's going to happen is the Federal Reserve is holding back money. They're making money upon money that they're eventually going to pay out when the strike or whatever you want to call it is over. All the employees will get back pay what they're owed. So meanwhile, you've got, let's say, $2 trillion just sitting there building on a compound interest, and it's drawing, let's say, 5% interest. Well, you know where that's going to end up. So yeah, once everything's paid, the government's still going to make money because they're going to have all that excess interest in the coffer. So the Federal Reserve says they control what's called interest rates, and that's the basic interest rates for everybody to borrow. So when the Fed chair is in charge of the money, he says when the interest rates fall, when the interest rates don't fall. And this has a big effect on the stock market, where billions and billions of dollars can be lost or won just by this man, Jerome Powell, getting in front of a camera and saying, okay, where you all expected me to drop the interest rate 1/4 point. Well, guess what? I don't feel like that's going to happen. I don't feel like the economy needs that. So I'm going to raise it 1/4 point. How do you like that, everybody? Well, not everybody likes that. Obviously, the stock market won't like it because it'll plummet 3,000 points because they were expecting a rate drop, and instead, it's a rate. And when the rates go up, businesses don't want to borrow money. So then they start having to lay off workers, and then product inflation starts going up because they can't produce enough product to feed everybody. So it creates such a problem. So is it a friend or a foe? I believe that it's more a foe, and it just depends who's in charge of the money. And now, 25 years ago, it didn't matter. Now it's left, right. There is no more center. So if you've got a leftist guy in there that wants to see the country not make money, then, and let's say he's got a suicidal type economy mentality, I mean, he could destroy the economy with just going on the screen and saying, I'm going to raise interest rates a full point. That would destroy the economy. The stock market would plummet 20,000 points. The businesses, it would be a disaster. This man has the power to do that, believe it or not. Yes, he does. When he talks, people listen. So, no, the Federal Reserve is not the people's friend. It might be the government's friend, but not the people. It's more of a foe to the people because the people have no control over what this man. The people can't vote in the head of the Fed chair. Jerome Powell was not voted in by the people. He was appointed by a president. President Biden appointed him. So the people have no say in the matter. So whatever happens, it's the government's fault that anything bad happens to the people because the government put the man in power. So just remember, when you hear that man talk, be ready because he controls all the money that goes in through the government, your Social Security and everything else. Like I always say, you can always never 100% trust the government. You gotta have that little safe in your mind to say, they don't care about me. Okay, I've got to do it on my own. Investments, make your own money. Don't depend on the government for nothing. And Social Security, some people have to. It's just the way it is. But that's what the Federal Reserve is. It controls all the money in the country. That's where everything goes, the Treasury. So you take it how you want it. The Lucha Ranger feels, for the people it's a foe, for the government it's a friend. So now I'll leave it there at that. You have a wonderful, God bless day, and the Lucha Ranger says he'll see you again.